Yishai, I want to ask you a few questions about the books you've written. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say these books have had a major impact on my life and friends of mine. And when your books come out, we really see it as a type of revelation of Torah, like real Kabbalah to Torah. So I wanted to ask you a few questions about the themes in your books and why you find them so meaningful to write about. Okay, so the first question is, at the beginning of your first book, Theology of Absence, you say that you have these morim ruchanim, spiritual teachers, and you list Rav Shagar, Rodenzweig is there, Lacan is there, Rabbi Nachman, not Lacan, Rabbi Nachman is there, and Rabbi Tzadok. So why don't we start with Rav Shagar, someone who was a real physical teacher of yours, and you spent years learning with him. Can you describe a little bit of how his writings and ideas and teachings have influenced you as a writer and a thinker?
You are speaking about the Rav Shagar's influence on me, and maybe I will first relate to my meeting with Rav Shagar, because his influence on me is before his ideas, meaning not like Rosenzweig, Reb Nachman, Tzadok, etc., that I met them through their writings and not through their physical nochechut. The Rav Shagar I met as a biography episode of my own. So the story of when and what was the situation that I met him has a lot to do about his influence on me. I was a student in Yeshivat Har Etzion. I was a very devoted student, Talmid, that's the right way to say. I tried to learn Gemara as the Rebbeim over there taught me to. I put every moment of my life in learning of Torah. I went to sleep late, woke up early, and these were two years of very intensive learning and spiritual seeking. But as I'm there, I had this feeling that something is not working. I was sure I will devote my life for Torah. But the feeling was that I will devote my life, but something in the Torah doesn't memamesh, how do you say, mekayem, the promise that the Torah...
It doesn't fulfill the promise.
It doesn't fulfill the promise that is revealed when you learn the Torah. Especially when you learn the Chassidut. When you learn the talks of Reb Nachman, that he says that he doesn't understand how somebody can be alive after one davening, my question is, how can somebody daven? Not how can somebody be alive. I will daven, that's for sure. I will pray. But something in the promise that is written into the prayer, the Jewish prayer, didn't seem to be fulfilled. So the thoughts a lot of times, maybe I'm not doing it the right way. Maybe like somebody learns brisk way of yeshivish learning, and he's going to try tells, maybe he's going to... So I tried also seeking different ways, but something very shallow, like my feeling of the Torah was, this is the devotion point of my life. But something there is not deep enough. There's a havtacha. But then this was a very sad feeling. Like I won't break away from it. That was never a question. I won't divorce the Torah. But could be that I married and I didn't know what I will marry, or that something I'm not good enough to understand it. Like I'm not a Talmid Chacham. I don't remember Ktsot v'Netivot and all that. Maybe they have those guys that know every Rishon and Acharon. Maybe their life is different than mine, but I'm not able to do that. And then I got in the Yeshivat Har Etzion, they had cassettes of a few shiurim of the Rav Shagar. So I started listening to them. These shiurim were given in the 1980s. And I heard there's something. I didn't yet know to explain to myself what. That interests me, but I also felt like I don't understand what it is. But that was my that's not right. My first meeting with the Rav Shagar was in Sukkot of Shiur Aleph. Sukkot of Shiur Aleph, my friend took me to Shana Rabbah in Tkoa. He told me 3 people are going to speak over there. Rav Shagar, Rav Yoshua Engelman, Rav Fruman. Rav Fruman I knew, I'm from Gush Etzion. Rav Yoshua Engelman I knew because that was the time, 2 years beforehand, he set out his disc. His first disc, Shachar Rav Akeshcha, I think was the name of the disc. And Rav Shagar, okay. I come in there. Yoshua Engelman has a charisma. Rav Fruman has a charisma. And then this guy stands up over there. He doesn't want to be there. Looking all the time into his page, mumbling to himself things on Likutei Moharan. And something in me was magnet. Like I felt, I don't know why I'm attracted. Like you meet a girl, she's not pretty, she's not your kind, and you're so attracted to her, and you can't explain to yourself, why am I attracted? Like if she would have been charismatic and all, why is he touching me somewhere? That was my feeling. But then Shana Rabbah ended, and I returned to the yeshivish learning in Har Etzion. But that memory of that hour, the half an hour with the Rav Shagar, was with me. And then I heard that cassettes. And then I went to the army. And in the army I felt slowly, really this feeling of that Chayei Torah mitzvot is something that I'm devoted to, but it's shallow. It doesn't bring the promise that the Chassidut Rabbeim says, something that will change your life, will do a metaphor. And in my time I was in tanks. I was in Shirut Mivtzai, and my brother brought home Puru Agoral. Now we're before Purim, so I took it to the army. I remember reading it, not understanding, and that memory of Hoshana Rabbah came back to me. I didn't know why. I don't understand what he's writing, but I felt. I got released from the army, and then I got to Yeshivat Siach. I listed up to Yeshivat Siach, and I had a very, I cherish what the Rav Dreyfus told me then when I entered Yeshivat Siach. That I told him, listen, I feel that I'm not part of the Torah world, and I have Mimra of Chazal, Alevai oti azavu v'torati shamaru. I will continue keeping Torah mitzvot, but I'm leaving the Kadosh Baruch Hu in the world, in the Torah world, because I have no place over there. I think the secular world has more to give me. And then he told me, let's give it last chance. Hear the Rav Shagar for 1 month. And if you feel after that, Alevai oti azavu v'torati shamaru, I'm going to give you Birkat HaDerech. And I stayed for a month, for another month, and for another month. And what the Rav Shagar gave me was the first and not last taste of depth, of a fulfillment of the promising that the Torah and the mitzvot has a promise of a very radical way of life, and my life was changed. And from when I met the Rav Shagar, I understood on what Reb Nachman was speaking, what Reb Tzadok is speaking, what Rosenzweig was speaking. I didn't know him, only later on. So, if I will say the real influence of the Rav Shagar on me, כמובן, is the shiluvim, v'tzirufim chadashim, bringing, okay, but we can say they did that before him, they did that after him. People brought psychological analysis, reading Torah, and Judaism of gam mizeh v'gam mizeh al tanach yadecha, achos baseh v'gam mizeh al tanach yadecha. We had a lot of verses. So the Rav Shagar was another verse that you can be a philosophy scholar and read Gemara or things like that. Okay. But what he gave me is that the Otiyot Torah, and Otiyot Torah, not only the book of the Torah, but all the Jewish life, is something very radical. And everything is kosher to confront that power, a koach shebaotiyot. If you're speaking about Theology shel Chesed, or that Reb Nachman is speaking, I give there the koach shebaotiyot. Everything is kosher to confront that koach shebaotiyot. That maybe is the main influence of the Rav Shagar on me. Again, a lot of other influences, tzirufim and lakan and psychology, a lot of the Chassidut, a lot of influence. But if I go to the dvikut in the koach shebaotiyot, that everything starts with confronting the bare letters of the Torah, of the tzaddikim,